Disappointment, but also optimism. It's a mixed reaction from the Anishinaabe Nation following this week's ruling that rejected part of a settlement agreement that would have seen $20 billion going to First Nations children and families who were discriminated against by Canada's child welfare system. Lee Noonan has more.
The Canadian Human Rights Tribunal rejected half of a $40 billion settlement agreement on the grounds that it excluded some categories of victim. That portion of the settlement was intended to compensate each First Nations child who was placed in state care and the families they were removed from under a child welfare system that was ruled to be willfully and recklessly discriminatory. This ruling is just the latest in a case that was first filed 15 years ago, and NAN Deputy Grand Chief Bobby Narcisse says he's disappointed that the wait for compensation will continue.
It's going to delay the much needed compensation that is owed to our children, to many of our children that were in care across Anishinaabe Nation.
However, Narcisse also says he's encouraged by the possibility of improving the settlement by expanding eligibility and increasing compensation amounts.
It just means that we're going to have to go back to the table and look at ways to ensure that this compensation package is rolled out in such a way that is responsible.
Indigenous Services Minister Patty Haidu echoed those sentiments, calling the decision disappointing, but also saying she's confident they will get to a solution that works.
The next steps are, really reviewing what the tribunal has said, trying to get at that, what the tribunal feels is a missing aspect to the settlement, and trying to strengthen the settlement to ensure that we meet the terms of the tribunal.
Haidu wouldn't give an estimate for how long the renewed negotiations might take, as they're still awaiting the tribunal's full decision and analysis, but she does say they will be refining the agreement rather than going back to the drawing board entirely. Lee Noonan, TBT News.